There is a long history of striving to build a human-powered aircraft. Early attempts tended to rely on flapping arms, but humans don't have the power-to-weight ratio for this kind of flight. It wasn't until the 20th century and the use of cycle-powered machines that offered a new approach to the problem that the dream looked like it could be made real. Human-powered flight took a huge leap forward in 1959 when the Royal Aeronautical Society formed the Human-Powered Aircraft Group, originally called the Man-Powered Aircraft Group. In the same year, industrialist Henry Kramer upped the stakes by offering a £5,000 prize for a bold challenge: fly a human-powered aircraft in a figure of 8 around two markers half a mile apart. The Royal Aeronautical Society Group and the Kramer Prize was the inspiration for a team of engineers and apprentices at Hatfield to start a project to build and fly an aircraft that would attempt to win the prize. The Hatfield Man-Powered Aircraft Club was formed to meet the challenge. The aircraft they built was named the Puffin. Although it didn't win the Kramer Prize, the Puffin and its pilot, John Wimpey, broke the man-powered flight record with a distance of 910 metres, just ahead of a team from Southampton University. The Puffin's record stood for a decade, and the Kramer Prize was finally won on August 1977 in a plane called the Gossamer Condor II. One of our volunteers, Phil Catton, appears in a short documentary film that was made at the time. In this video, Phil reviews the documentary and recalls the Puffin and the people behind this record-breaking aircraft. Phil is currently on the team who are restoring the Dragon Rapide at the museum.
I took my fiancée at the time, Sheila, which I eventually married, to the cinema to see this look-at-life film. Once it had been shown on the big screens, me and Sheila were going out, and of course one or two people did recognise my face, did a double take. I thought, yeah, it really was me. Well, this is, that's Jimmy Phillips, and that's John Wimpey, and that's Charles Caliandi. There's Andy Carlisle there and Freddie Watts. There, as you saw, they're all chief designers of the Trident, and now here they are over the other side of the airfield, walking towards the Puffin aircraft in the Dynamics flight test shed hangar. And you can see it's quite light. This is, again, there were obviously technical drawings done to be able to, for us apprentices, to be able to construct the aircraft. The fuselage and the wings were all constructed in jigs so that it was made true, and the profile was correct.
Balsa wood.
Yeah, and the aircraft was constructed mostly of balsa wood planks, and this again was possibly used an experience from the Mosquito aircraft. There we are. That's Frank Van, who was again on the Mosquito aircraft. And now this is a test rig that me and Fred Taylor constructed so that potential pilots could be able to establish what their power output would be and required to be able to fly the aircraft. That's not a proper propeller, it was a dummy propeller. This here is, you can see Jim Say, who was the woodworking instructor, and this again is Vivian Gall, who constructed that wind direction and speed indicator. Here we are again back in the main test hangar at Hawker Siddeley Dynamics, de Havilland Dynamics, and this is Viv Cowell and Jack Oaten, who was my instructor. This is me standing up by the propeller with another apprentice crouched down. Yeah, I helped to be able to build that. That's me, yours truly. Yeah. And again, this is Fred Taylor there, and another apprentice, I think it's George Cresswell, putting the very lightweight canopy over it. You can see from the front of that how we gave it the name of Puffin aircraft. This hole in the middle there was put in there so that fresh air could be put through to the inside of the aircraft to give the pilot some fresh air to be able to breathe, and also to stop the canopy misting up, particularly when we were flying it on cold days. There we were, because it was cold, the wings would get covered with a slight mist and frost, so we'd have to wipe all of that off, because the wing profile for flight is very critical. Here we are now going along, and you'll see it take off in a minute. And it's pedalling quite fast. It's got normal controls, ailerons, rudders, and elevators. It's most weird in that there's no noise except for this swishing of the propeller, and it's quite magical to see it. As you can see, the grass is all covered with a frost. It was the best days to be able to fly it when there was no wind. So, as I said, we did get a prize for the longest straight flight, which was 993 yards. Again, you can see this. There's the Hawker Siddeley Dynamics test hangar there. Come into land, and as soon as it comes into land, then we used to have to race up to it so that the wings didn't touch the ground. We would then return it to, we would then put it on a trolley, return it down to the far end of the runway, and start the next flight.